Hello there and welcome to our Logo for Leeds. It's my channel where we talk all things Leeds United, and I'm reviewing today our 1-0 home defeat against Brighton and Hove Albion at Ellen Road. And what a disappointing one it has been, this result, Leeds fans, isn't it? I think it was a must win for us. It was certainly a mustn't lose, and what have we gone and done? We've lost it 1-0. We've let Brighton back in closer to us. Still 6 points away, aren't they, from us? But they're closing that gap, and it was a real chance for us today to really pull away even more from them. Fulham lost as well, which was a good result, really, wasn't it, in the end for us? But yeah, it was a chance. It was a real chance for us to put some real proper daylight between us and them, and we didn't take it. We didn't grasp it. And we didn't look anything like doing that at all at any point in the game. I mean, let's take it right back to the start of the match. We just didn't look up for it. I mean, as soon as the team sheet comes out, everybody kind of collectively goes, "Oh no, Kiko in goal, here we go." I mean, I'm the same as everybody. I don't want him anywhere near the team. He's played obviously the last two games, with it being the FA Cup game last weekend, but yeah, obviously Melié's ill. I think he has got COVID. I don't think the club have officially announced that. Really, just said he's unwell. So I imagine he's got COVID, hasn't he? So he missed the game, but he'll have a chance to recover with it being 10 days till we face Newcastle at St James's Park. But hopefully he'll be back in for that game. Does reinforce the notion that we need a kind of better backup goalkeeper or a goalkeeper to come in and take the number one spot. More experience from Meslier, really. But Kiko did okay, didn't he? Didn't really have that much to do apart from pick the ball out the net. Really, he did all right. I don't want to praise him too much, to be fair, but he did okay. And that was a kind of thing where everybody was disappointed, weren't they, at the start, where, as the team sheet come out and you see him in goal, and everybody immediately then is negative about, oh, we're going to lose this, that and the other. But obviously we did eventually lose, but it had nothing to do with him. When we came out, didn't look on it, looked slow. I mean, a word about the Ellen Road pitch. The Ellen Road pitch is absolutely shocking. I've seen better Sunday League pictures than that, I must admit. As he had the local rugby team playing on it or something, it's really not the best. It looks terrible, and it has all season, to be fair. He looked grand in the Championship. I don't know what's happened. As we've gone up a division, the pitch quality seems to have gone down a few divisions. Like I say, I've seen Sunday League pictures that are in much better quality than that Ellen Road pitch today, and the lads matched that, of the the badness of the pitch. It was matched by the performance of the players. We were terrible, slow. It had a very sombre feeling, that game, particularly in the first half. From us anyway. And it almost felt like a training game, really. It just wasn't good enough. We could barely string two passes together. The players couldn't find the men properly. Stray passes everywhere. Lethargic, slow in the passing. And, Brighton weren't much better. I must admit, I wasn't impressed by Brighton, really. But they showed that little bit more than us, but overall wasn't very impressed. It was a very slow and boring match, in all honesty. But they get the goal and they hung on to it. Obviously it's Neil Maupay that gets the goal. We've said that before, haven't we? Where Leeds is concerned, where he's been playing against us. Obviously for Brentford, he had a good record. He gets another one against us. And it's completely Luke Ayling's fault. You've got to be aware of who's around you, and he wasn't aware of him at all. Right, just coming around the back, ghosting in at the back post, and Luke Ayling stood like a statue, isn't he? Just stood like a statue. Lets Maupay just walk in and put Brighton 1-0 up with a gaping goal in front of him. Obviously Kiko Casillas too preoccupied by what's going on his left side, and as a ball comes across the penalty, the 6-yard area. So it's completely Luke Ayling's fault, lack of concentration or whatever it was. It wasn't good enough. And then he stood there with his hands on his hips when the ball's in the back of the net, kind of looking at Kiko Casilla saying, well, why didn't you tell me he was behind me? But yeah, he's a Premier League footballer now. He needs to be more aware of what's around him. And he wasn't there. We go 1-0 down. And then from then on, we didn't look great before that. We looked terrible after that. There's a few players that I'd like to single out as being absolutely terrible. And I'll go through that list now because there wasn't much else to the game. We barely had a shot. We were very, very poor. Like I say, the pitch didn't help us really in the way that we like to play it. Stopped us playing that game, and like I say, the groundsman needs a real good talking to, or he needs the sack basically. Get another one in because it doesn't look good at all. And there you go. But the players that I want to speak about in more detail really is obviously I spoke about Ayling. Click has looked way off the pace for me since the season started. He's looked not on the pace at all. For me, he doesn't look interested actually. I don't know what it is, but he just doesn't really look that interested. He was very poor today. One that was even poorer than him was Rodrigo next to him. Barely touched the ball. I mean, I don't know really with Rodrigo. He hasn't really lit Leeds alight since he's come in record signing, and he's taken a long time to adjust. And this performance was absolutely awful. Yeah, he was just shocking. I don't remember really him touching the ball that much, but he just basically ran around and it didn't affect the game at all. Didn't even affect the game in a negative way, he just didn't affect it at all in any sort of way. The other one that I'd like to speak about is Rafinha, who I thought had his worst game in a Leeds shirt today. He followed suit with the rest of the team, really, just kind of loose passes all over the place. Couldn't really get his game going. Had one spell, I think, one moment where he sort of got down the left hand side and put a cross in, but obviously it went to nobody, and it was really poor all round. But like I say, Click, Rodrigo, Rafinha, and obviously Bamford, for me, were very poor today. Bamford, can't really say that much about him really, because the service to him was actually very, very poor all game. Probably, I'm not sure the statistics, but I'd be very surprised if he had more than 10 touches, Bamford, in that game. Probably between 10 and 15 maybe. He had very, very little touches of the ball. Service was non-existent, and we can't do that because Bamford has become so essential to us in the Premier League and the way we play. But like I say, the goalkeeper position is reinforced, I think, today by where we need another one. But all over the pitch, for me, Bielsa needs to look at his tactics. I know he's said if plan A doesn't work, the way we play doesn't work, we just keep trying harder to make it work and stuff like that. But that's all well and good. But when you haven't got the players to kind of get you over the line in games and grind games out, then we're not really going to get anywhere. We need better quality. For me, I can't wait for Llorente to get a proper run in the side, for Koch to come back in the side, because again, I haven't mentioned Cooper, but I think Cooper was overall fairly solid, but he kept putting his teammates in a little bit of trouble by kind of overplaying the ball a bit, overpassing it, putting too much on the pass. A few times he passed it out left to Alioski, and Alioski was like scampering down to try and get it from going out for a throw-in, and Alioski was poor as well, to be fair. Put us in danger once or twice with sloppy touches and everything like that. But yeah, the everything just didn't click today. It was a nightmare. We'd be playing all year, and I don't think we would have scored a goal. It was that bad. The only light I thought was Harrison, who looked dangerous, looked like he wanted to cause Brighton problems, and if Brighton hadn't packed the penalty area as they did, particularly in that second half, then he might have got some joy out of them. But fair play to Brighton. I mean, they could have played with cigars in the first half. We were that bad in the first half, but second half we came out. We had a bit of a go, but we just couldn't break them down. Didn't have that sort of key to breaking them, and that key pass just wasn't there. They made the wrong decision. Pablo came on, didn't he? And initially looked quite bright, but then he sort of settled into this sloppy play of the whole team. That was the whole narrative. It was sloppy. It was slow. I'm not a big fan of Tyler Roberts, but I think he came on and did all right when he came on. Showed a bit of promise, really, which you very rarely see, to be honest, when he's on the pitch. But he showed a little bit of promise for me and looked quite decent. Whether he warrants a start in the Newcastle game, I don't know. A lot can happen from now and in 10 days' time, can't it? So, there's lots to ponder for Bielsa over those days, those times where, the break in play with the Southampton game being postponed. But look, we need to change something, really. We need reinforcements, and Radrizzani will have watched it. He sees the same as we do. And when you're bringing on players like Roberts, although, like I say, had a decent game today, when you're bringing on him and the likes of Poveda, who is all promise, isn't he? And he's a young talent. He's a decent player, but is he good enough for the Premier League and what we need at this time? I'm not so sure. Doesn't seem to have much of an end product, to be honest with you. Likes his trickery and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, where's the end product? Where's the final ball into the box, or a good final ball into the box? Where's a shot, at the end of all these step overs and that sort of thing? There very rarely is the one, and is a one of quality as well. And yeah, for me, it just highlights the depth that we need in the squad. We get a break, like I say, and we'll go again against Newcastle, but it's very disappointing because at the start of this game you kind of thought if we go at them and we start early, then we can go for them and we can beat them. But it was the absolute opposite of that. It was lethargic, sloppy, slow. I mean, I saw a tweet, I think at half time, which said, it summed it up quite nicely, which said the Ellen Road pitch looked like a pig farm, and it did really. It was shocking. It's of a really poor quality, that, and it doesn't help the way we like to play, the fast paced football, and when the ball's sticking like it looked like it was doing, it's not going to help us. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I wasn't impressed with Brighton. They didn't have to work that hard for that result. There was a chance in the first half where they hit the bar, deflected shot off Ayling, hit the crossbar. But other than that, second half they put one over the bar, didn't they? But it was a game of few chances and very little quality. They won it off a mistake from us, and it was a tap-in, wasn't it? So very disappointing, But having said that, we're in the same position as we were before kick-off in terms of the relegation sides. I know West Brom won, didn't they? But the relegation teams that is in the last place is Fulham, and they lost. So we're still 11 points ahead of them. We're in a decent position. We've just got to cement it by being a better and more more proactive, more aggressive, more assertive on the pitch. Because today just wasn't good enough, and you kind of think, are we on the way to kind of going looking bit below us, when before we were kind of looking a little bit up and thinking, can we catch these or whatever, but wasn't to be today. We need to be a lot better, but we march on. We go on to Newcastle at St James's Park a week on Tuesday, and we go again. It's a must-win game, this one. It's a must-win game. There's no other way to say it now. We need some confidence back in the play, in the way we play, quicker football, few goals. It's now 3 games without a goal. If you count obviously the FA Cup game, it's 3 games, 3 defeats in a row. So yeah, we need a positive result for sure on at St James's Park a week on Tuesday. But let's see what happens. But yeah, flat display. You know, it leaves everybody flat, doesn't it? And but thank you very much for watching. I'm trying to grow the channel. I've hit 100 now, over 100 now we are, so the next target is 200. Remember to like this video and to subscribe to the channel. It would be very much appreciated. But thanks very much. Disappointing today, but thanks for watching. Marching on together, and I will see you on the next one.